Have you ever finally got the thing you thought you wanted, only to discover it still wasn't enough? David, William, Pierce, welcome back. And this week, across 70 days sober and sexually centered. At the start of May, I decided to step away from smoking, substances, and sexual release as part of an experiment into expanded consciousness. I wanted to see what happened when I stopped automatically reaching for the things that changed my state. And this week, that experiment revealed something that I wasn't expecting. Not through meditation, not through study, but through intimacy. One of the wonderful things of this experiment is that abstaining from sexual release hasn't meant abstaining from intimacy. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's allowed for some of the most connected and deepest experiences that I've had the pleasure of enjoying. That doesn't mean desire disappears. Some days the testosterone absolutely roars and the desire to penetrate, whether woman or world, is incredibly strong. Learning to witness that energy rather than become consumed by it has become one of the most fascinating parts of this journey. And this week it showed me something that I'd seen before, but not really recognized in this way. During an internet exchange, despite hours of beautiful connection, I noticed a quiet part of me still wanting more. Not more intimacy, not more connection, just more. And it was subtle, but it was unmistakable. Almost as though something remained unfinished. As though pleasure was trying to fill a void that couldn't actually be filled. And in that moment, I recognized something that my Tantric studies have been pointing towards. In the Tantric tradition, there's a concept called anavamala, often translated as the impurity of individuality. It's the misbelief that something is missing. The lies we tell ourselves that we're incomplete in some way, that we're lacking, that not good enough. And according to these teachings, that single assumption quietly shapes the stories we build our identity around. Our attention becomes organized around them. Our discernment, our judgment becomes clouded by old samskaras, those psychological impressions from the past that influence how we experience the present. Then instead of meeting the moment as it is, we unknowingly often project the past onto the present. And that's exactly what I saw happening. It wasn't that intimacy wasn't beautiful, it was, and it wasn't that the desire was wrong, it wasn't. The problem that I experienced was that somewhere beneath the desire was a story quietly asking the intimacy to solve a feeling of separation. And the thing is, no amount of pleasure, no amount of anything can satisfy a story built on a lie, on a misbelief that you're fundamentally incomplete. And that was the shift. I realized in that moment that I wasn't actually seeking deeper connection. I wasn't really looking to enjoy more exchange. I was trying to escape separation, that feeling of not enoughness, of incompleteness, of individuality, of aloneness. And those are very different things. And I don't think it's just about intimacy. I think all of us do this in some shape or form with almost everything. We think, if I earn more money, if I find the right relationship, if I improve my health, if I'm more confident, then finally I'll feel whole. But what if the thing you're chasing isn't actually the thing you're looking for? What if the desire itself isn't the problem? What if it's the story underneath the desire? It's why getting the job, earning the money, getting the car, whatever it is, the woman, the man, it ultimately feels unfulfilling when it's done from the wrong perspective. And this has become a huge part of the transformational conversational work that I'm doing with people. Most people don't actually need another strategy or a podcast or a book. They often need someone to help them uncover the hidden story, organizing the way they're experiencing life. Because once that story becomes visible, you can start to dissolve it so that you're no longer trying to solve the wrong problem. So if you ever found yourself thinking, I know this habit isn't serving me anymore, but I can't seem to let it go. Or maybe it's no matter what you achieve, it never quite feels like enough. Then follow the information in the description, because I'd love to have a chat with you. So the beautiful thing was that remembering I was already whole didn't remove desire. It's actually transformed my relationship to it. Belonging has softened and love has deepened. And what once felt like something to consume, a craving, is shifting into something that I actually get to share and enjoy. And perhaps that's what freedom really is. Not the absence of desire, but no longer asking desire to tell you who you are. So I'll leave you with this week's contemplation. Which story about yourself did you notice this week? What recurring label or identity shaped the way you thought, felt, or responded? And where did you glimpse, if only even briefly, that you're far more expansive than the story you've been living inside? If this week's reflection resonated with you, I'd also recommend watching the Tantric study that this reflection was inspired by. And if you'd like to explore your own hidden patterns through a transformational conversation, you'll find a link to that in the description. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next transmission. Cheers.